So time for another die-cast conversion. I'm returning this red MGB from Matchbox into a replica of my grandfather's car for his 92nd birthday. As you can see here, it's got some printing on the back, but there's no real chrome detail on the front, no headlights either. First thing I'm going to do is take it apart using the drill part of my Dremel here to go through the caps. This one's actually got 2 rivets, so need to have a little bit of patience for this. Remember to wear safety goggles for doing this kind of thing. And then it came apart quite easily. Got the base with the wheels, the interior and the window. There's the bodywork. You can see I'd already painted one of the lights on in silver just to see how it would look. Next thing to do is to strip it down. So there you are, the other parts. I'll put the plastic parts to one side, don't want to damage them. And then I'll attach the bodywork to this clip. My grandfather's, unfortunately, we don't have any photos of it anymore, but it was white. So yeah, this red needs to be removed completely. I'm using this paint predator stuff. Remember to read the instructions carefully. I'm doing this wearing a mask and also with the windows wide open. This is pretty foul smelling stuff. And also I put a lid onto this to let it settle. Here you can see some of the paint lifting up. You can see it's lifting off the bonnet quite well here, but the roof hasn't really started yet, so I'm going to put some more of this paint predator on and leave it for a bit longer. It said half an hour, but in the end I left this for about an hour and a half. Then rinsed it off with some cold water, and then I'm sanding down some of the mould seams. There's one on the bonnet and then there's 2 on the front wings. Found some of the red paint stayed in the panel lines around the back, so craft blade and toothpick was used to remove that. I also sanded down one of the seams on the boot lid that you can see here. And then once I was happy with how it all looked, I gave this 3 coats of primer. This is Halford's light white primer. I use this because it's made for cars, which means it's suitable for use on metal. Always check that the primer and paint you're using is suitable for use on metal if you're doing something like this. There it is, all primed up. I smoothed that down in some places with a bit of wet sandpaper. Then used this anti-static brush to remove any little bits of debris and gave it 5 light coats of VW Pure White. I think this is Ice White, which is a spray can which I got from Halford's car shop in the UK. And then after leaving that to cure, I'm pretty happy with that. A bit of orange peel in a couple of places. So after leaving it to cure for a couple of days, I wet sanded it. This is using a Tamiya 3000 grit sanding sponge. Need to make sure I'm careful around the raised detail. Wipe that clean. Then I used some Kent Models Hyper Polish to smooth those out as best as possible. Here I'm using the Tamiya polishing sponges and then this UMP cloth. There we are, I think that's a big improvement. Now next, for the chrome details, I started by using some Revell semi-gloss black with this very, very fine brush, going over things like the windscreen wipers, the indicators and headlights, the wing mirror, all of those sort of things. Find that if you put down a base layer of black before using chrome or silver paint, it gives you a much more vibrant finish. tail lights too, boot clip, that sort of thing. And I then used this Vallejo metal colour. Now this is thinned and airbrush ready, but I chose to brush paint it, give it a good shake to mix it up, and it also brushes on quite nicely. Using a slightly wider brush for this, but also being very careful. Now some of these indicators I'll go over with some clear orange or red later on. Good to do a little bit of the headlight surround as well. And the wing mirror. And the tail lights. Then on the base, I'm also doing a black coat for the front and rear bumpers so that the chrome pops that little bit better. Once that's cured, then going over with the same Vallejo chrome. Trying to avoid the central badge in the front, although this one hasn't been printed that well in red and black. Can do this in a couple of coats to get a smooth finish. Now then, to do the chrome strips on the side of the car, I'm using a bit of plumber's aluminium tape. This is pretty cheap. I picked up a whole roll for about £5 back in 2020, and I've barely made a dent on it in the time since. I think that this way you can get that really clean, sharp stripe down the side of the car, and obviously no bleed. Use a cotton bud to push it down its place. Obviously you could make this a bit thinner, but it is quite fragile if you make it too thin. And I use the same material for the door handles. These metal rulers are great for getting a sharp line. Use plastic or wood, then you can potentially cut them with the blade. So there we are. Also did a bit of chrome around the window trims, although I didn't put down black initially, so they don't look quite as sharp. And then used a bit of panel line accent from Tamiya to fill in the radiator at the front. There we are. Now I'm using a bit of clear orange and clear red from Tamiya on the tail lights and indicators. I think this casting of the car is pretty good. Now using a bit more panel line accent on this vent here, just behind the bonnet. Cleaning it up. And then time to put it together. I didn't change the wheels on this, but if you wanted, you could get some different ones if you want to do an earlier version, maybe with wire wheels. But I kept them stock. And then you assemble it like so. There's a pillar that goes into the back seats, which I also chose to paint black, and I also did a little bit of chrome window surround around the front, where the front windows should be. Then didn't screw this into place, instead just used a small amount of super glue. When that had all set, I then drilled a small hole into the bottom to attach it to this display base. I think this is from an Oxford diecast, which had spare. And yeah, this is about a 2mm drill bit and screw. Have it, make sure it's nice and straight. There we are, on the display base. But before it's finished, just need a couple of decals. Now, as we didn't know what the registration plate was anymore, I just did a generic one with MGB GT in black and white, like a kind of 60s, 70s number plate. These were custom printed. You can see the tutorial of how I did this above in the corner. And then I'm pretty certain it had an MGB badge like this. So I printed that off as well. You can also see the boat boot clip in the middle there. And there we are, it's finished. Gave this to my granddad yesterday, and he really liked it. Lots of family members had fond memories of the real thing. As always, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Sorry about my voice this week, I've been under the weather a little bit. And I've got another diecast conversion in plan for next year. It's a Lotus 25 Corgi car, which I found on the scrap heap. Needs a few spare parts though. Here's some comparison shots. And yeah, as always, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon.